What I like to do when I have guests over for the holidays, especially when you have a lot of people and everyone has a different preference for breakfast, you just create stations and they can help themselves. This I'd gotten from a vintage store and I love it. This is our raspberry. Actually a really nice way to add to a little yogurt parfait station. Start with some jam, do a nice yogurt on top. Yes, you could do a yogurt parfait in a normal bowl, or you can just make it a little bit more special. All of this is great for kids. If you don't want to make pancakes, don't make pancakes. You just get the ones that are in the freezer section. I like having some of the fruits whole and the rest sliced in half. The same fruit just looks so much cuter. And on this one, let's put some whipped cream. The remaining strawberry and raspberry jam that we have, fan favorite in my house. So good. One of my favorite things for breakfast with the large group is having quiche. So one of two things. If you have just a great quiche, again, grocery store or make it yourselves. You can leave it out if you know people are going to wake up right around now. Otherwise, I would just write a little note that says, morning, help yourselves, quiche is in the oven. Where you're just presenting it in a way that feels a little bit more enticing and people can wake up in the morning and feel cared for, which I think is half of the joy of the holiday.
The morning unfolds with a softness that feels almost intentional, as if the sun itself is choosing to rise gently, just enough to lay warm gold across the countertops where Duchess Meghan moves with a natural, serene confidence. Everything about the moment glows with the unmistakable ease she brings into a room, warm, calm, effortlessly elegant, and grounded in authenticity. It is the quiet power of a woman who has built something with her own vision, her own touch, and her own unshakable sense of beauty. The images from the reel offer only seconds at a time, but each second feels like a portal into her world, inviting, curated with love, and wrapped in that unmistakable as ever warmth. In the first glimpse, she stands in her kitchen, wrapped in a soft, textured white knit that mirrors the gentleness of the morning itself. Her hair is loosely pulled back, not in a way that hides her features, but in a way that highlights them, revealing the smooth glow of her skin, the calmness in her expression, and the quiet attentiveness with which she prepares for her hosting ritual. There is something deeply intimate about watching her in this setting. Not intimate in a personal way, but intimate in the emotional sense. Watching a woman in her element, creating an atmosphere rather than a display. Her movement is slow, but purposeful. She reaches forward to adjust the delicate glass jars, elegant ribbed vessels filled with jewel-toned preserves, their lids shimmering with metallic light. She handles them with that signature grace that has always set her apart. Careful without being stiff, feminine without being ornamental, confident without being loud. It is the grace of a woman who knows the value of every gesture. The jars rest on a tiered silver stand, the kind that nods to tradition while still feeling timeless. The metal catches the sunlight, throwing soft reflections across her hands. The moment is not about opulence, it is about intention. Everything is thoughtfully placed, from the spoons resting against the jars to the way she angles the stand on the counter, giving the viewer a sense of warmth, of home, of care. There is a softness to the film tone of the video as well, the slight blur, the golden tint, the almost nostalgic glow that feels reminiscent of cherished holiday mornings. It isn't simply filmed, it is crafted to feel like memory. And Duchess Meghan moves through it effortlessly, as if she herself carries that glowing softness. The aesthetic is unmistakably hers, neutral, warm, organic, elegant, luxurious without ever feeling excessive. Her white sweater, with its gentle folds and plush texture, complements the light palette of her kitchen. Soft cream cabinetry, muted tones, and diffused daylight create a setting that feels grounded and intimate. It is not the cold, formal kitchen of aristocratic showrooms. It is a lived-in, deeply personal space, filled with warmth and intention. The kitchen feels like a point of connection, a place where love is translated into food, hospitality, and attention to detail. Her hands adjust the silver handle of the tiered stand, and despite the brevity of the moment, there is a certain narrative infused into her movement. You can almost sense what she's preparing for. An easy morning gathering, strawberries and blueberries glistening in syrup, warm pastries waiting off screen, the aroma of fresh coffee curling through the room. It is domestic harmony, not in the 1950s sense, but in the modern, empowered woman's sense, where hosting becomes an expression of love and creativity rather than obligation. The as-ever real then transitions, moving from the warm kitchen into a deeper, richer tone. A slow, velvety red fills the frame, the colour of ripe berries, slow-simmered preserves, and holiday warmth. The rich, glowing bokeh lights dance across the background, creating an atmosphere that feels both festive and serene. Easy morning hosting with as ever appears in elegant, refined lettering, the kind of typography that speaks softly, yet confidently. The words float over the red background like a promise. This is not merely a brand, it is a feeling, a rhythm, a carefully crafted lifestyle meant to elevate the simple rituals of everyday life. And Duchess Meghan is its embodiment, not just as its creator, but as its spirit. The aesthetic is her heartbeat translated visually. Natural, grounded, warm, rooted in authenticity. As the text appears, the viewer is pulled into the deeper narrative, the 2025 holiday collection. A season shaped by comfort, warmth, good food, beautiful tables, and the gentle joy of bringing people together. It is as if the brand whispers, "Slow down, enjoy this, make moments that matter." And in doing so, it frames Duchess Meghan not simply as a founder or face of the brand, but as a storyteller. The reel doesn't shout, it doesn't rely on flash or excess, it invites. The warmth in the video composition is intentional. The glowing red background evokes mulled berries, winter warmth, simmering jams, and candle-lit mornings. It is sensual without being overwhelming, cozy without being rustic. This rich red speaks both to the holiday season and to the deep, fruity hues of the preserves Meghan handles earlier in the kitchen. The as-ever emblem appears, sleek, modern, yet rooted in heritage. It signals not only a brand, but a legacy she is building with care, integrity, and an eye for beauty that feels distinctly personal. The emblem holds weight. It represents a woman shaping her creative identity on her own terms. But the real heart of the imagery remains Meghan herself in that first glimpse. The way she leans slightly forward, focused yet serene. The subtle smile on her lips, suggesting quiet joy. The golden morning light touching her cheek. The way the camera captures her not as a celebrity, not as a royal, not as a public figure, but as a woman comfortable, grounded, and fully present in her craft. She radiates a glow that isn't artificial. It's the glow that comes from alignment, living a life shaped by intention, authenticity, and creativity. Her hosting is not performative. It's organic. You can almost feel the warmth of her hospitality reaching through the frame. This is Duchess Meghan at her best, unforced, luminous, immersed in a moment of creation and connection. The visual language of the reel matches her energy, slow, warm, golden, intimate. Nothing is rushed, nothing is loud, nothing is cluttered. The aesthetic breathes, it gives space. It allows the viewer to feel what she is feeling. Calm, joy, pride, pleasure in the small rituals. Her kitchen becomes a symbolic sanctuary, a place where love is made tangible through morning rituals and thoughtful hosting. She isn't simply preparing breakfast, she is creating an experience. Her attention to detail, the way she arranges the jars, adjusts the stand, leans into her work, reveals someone who puts her heart into the moments that matter. The gleam of the silver handle she touches feels almost metaphorical. There is something symbolic about it, a quiet suggestion that she elevates everything she touches, not through flash, not through spectacle, but through intention, integrity, and an eye for warmth and beauty. The ribbed glass jars catch the light in a way that feels poetic. They refract small prisms across the marble counter. Light dances as she moves, following the rhythm of her hands. It's a reminder that beauty often lies in the simplest acts: a morning routine, a jar of preserved berries, the gentle adjustment of a serving tray. Her jewelry is minimal, just a simple bracelet and a ring, yet even this subtle gleam adds to the warmth of the moment. She doesn't overwhelm the scene with accessories. She lets the environment breathe. She understands balance, restraint, and the power of understatement. Her expression reveals ease. There is no tension, no stiffness, no performative flourish. Her hosting style reflects who she is: calm, grounded, warm, intuitive. You can almost hear soft music in the background, the clinking of spoons, the murmur of family in the next room. It feels cinematic but not staged, real but elevated, intimate but universal. And the transition to the red berry-rich frame reinforces this emotional warmth. The words, "easy morning hosting with as ever," sit beautifully across the background, as though they are sealing the sensory experience. The warmth of the kitchen, the sunlight on the glass, the gleam of silver, the quiet elegance of a morning crafted with care. The phrase, "easy morning hosting," says so much about Meghan's approach. Effortless, thoughtful, loving. She doesn't make hosting look stressful. She makes it look comforting. She makes it look like an act of care rather than obligation, something that reflects her personality and her values. The holiday collection message ties everything together. This isn't just a moment, it's an invitation, an offering. A season shaped gently, with intention, by a woman who has always been guided by heart rather than hype. The warm imagery, the rich colours, the slow movements, the glow of light, the purposeful simplicity, all of it mirrors the essence of Meghan's brand. Considered, beautiful, soulful. What makes the glimpse even more powerful is the contrast. The warmth of the kitchen scene and the richness of the holiday introduction. It's a duality that reflects the heart of as ever, comfort and elegance, morning light and festive glow, home and celebration. The visual storytelling is seamless, moving from the bright intimacy of morning to the deeper, richer tones of holiday warmth. And above it all is Duchess Meghan, standing at the centre not like a figurehead, but like the creative heart of the entire vision. Her presence elevates everything around her, not because of her title, but because of her essence. The way she moves, the way she creates, the way she hosts, the way she builds spaces that feel calm, welcoming, and deeply joyful. Everything she touches carries that signature: thoughtful, tender, beautiful, intentional. The glimpse becomes more than a video. It becomes a love letter to warm mornings, to beautiful rituals, to the simple joy of hosting with care. It becomes a testament to the brand she has built and the woman she is, a woman who values connection, beauty, and authenticity. This is why the imagery resonates so deeply. It is aspirational, not because it feels out of reach, but because it feels attainable, human, joyful. Meghan doesn't present luxury as something exclusive. She presents beauty as something shared, something created from the heart. Her presence in the video is soft-spoken yet powerful. Her aesthetic is gentle yet elevated. Her essence is calm yet magnetic. Each frame feels like a breath. Each movement feels like an embrace. Each detail feels like a whisper of care. Easy morning hosting with Duchess Meghan's as ever is more than a tagline. It is a lived experience, a philosophy, a way of creating beauty that feels real, rooted, and filled with love. The images do not just show a woman preparing her morning table. They show a woman shaping her world with heart. A woman who brings warmth into everything she touches. A woman who has mastered the art of making life beautiful in the simple moments. And that is the true magic of this glimpse. It doesn't just show Meghan. It shows the love she pours into her space, her brand, her hosting, her creativity. It shows the warmth she radiates effortlessly. It shows the elegance that flows from her spirit. It shows the woman she is, ever warm, ever graceful, ever luminous as ever.